Welcome to this week's episode of Northwest Cooks, and thank you for inviting me into your homes. Today on the show, we're going to be joined by a chef, Sean Smith. He comes from the Portland Spirit. Now, Sean makes delectable food while they float up and down the Willamette. Today, making a sofrito shrimp salad. Going to make a chimichurri, really delectable flank beef steak, which comes with some potatoes and roasted vegetables. And then we're going to take plantains and turn them into Foster. It's plantain Foster. I've got my apron on, which means it must be time to sizzle. Welcome to this week's episode of Northwest Cooks. I'm Nick Miles, and we are in our Bradley Design and Education Center kitchen, where you can find all your Wolf and Sub-Zero products, as we are every week. And welcoming into the studio this week, we have Sean Smith. Sean, my friend, you are from the Portland Spirit,
correct,
which is a floating restaurant and entertainment center. But you guys have a number of boats as well, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have 3 other boats besides the Spirit that all do dining cruises. We also have a jet boat called the Outrageous. 3 of the boats are down here in Portland. They cruise on the Willamette. And then our other boats in Cascade Locks, the Columbia Gorge Stern Whaler, and it cruises between Bonneville Dam and Cascade Locks.
So, Sean, we're going to make 3 different dishes on the show today. What are they?
We're going to start off with a sofrito shrimp salad over a little butter lettuce and frisee. And for our entree, we're going to have a chimichurri flank steak with roasted vegetables and poached citrus potatoes. And then we're going to finish off with a little variation that's real simple off of Bananas Foster, doing a caramelized plantain with ice cream.
Let's take a look at the ingredients we have for these shrimp. What do we have here? I mean, it looks like you have a huge amount of.
We've got a little bit of everything here. First, we're going to get started on the sofrito. We're going to make this real easy and just do it in the food processor. So here we go. Just a nice quick coarse chop. Doesn't have to be pretty. And we will throw that right in here.
All right, inside the food processor go the onions. So 2 tomatoes go in with your 2 peppers and your single onion.
Yep. A half of a bunch of the cilantro. Stem can go in too. We're just going to tear the top right off. Throw that in there. And the juice from one of the lemons. About a half a tablespoon of salt. Teaspoon of cumin. And we're just going to put a dab of oil in there to bring all this together. A little bit of thyme, 2 garlic cloves. Okay, see how that's coming together a little bit?
That was pretty quick.
Yeah, real simple. So that is done. We're just going to set this off to the side here. So this is butter lettuce that we have here. We're just going to chop down the sides and chop down the head. Get some nice bite-sized pieces. Okay, and a little bit of the frisee. You don't want too much of this stuff because it is a little bitter, but it does add a nice characteristic as long as it's still in the background. So we're only going to use about half this head. All we're going to do with this cucumber, peel it like normal, and just keep shaving down like this and turning it. You just get these nice little peels like so.
Wow.
That should be about enough for our salad there. We'll just throw those in there. And we're going to do about a teaspoon of sugar, just to barely sweeten it up, and a tablespoon of seasoned rice wine vinegar. And this just adds a really nice, really lightly sweet characteristic and sour to the freshness of the cucumber. Now we're ready to get our shrimp rolling.
So everything's ready to go, and the next thing we're going to do is cook off the shrimp?
Yep. We're just going to flash those shrimp. Flash
them in the pan in just a second. This is a perfect opportunity to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello. Mark Brenich, Cisco, Portland, with your cooking tip of the day. One thing that I like to do is get kids involved in making their own meals and hopefully getting eaten well and things like that. So I have my daughters joining me today. This is Katie Rose and my daughter Margaret. And what we're going to do is we're going to do some omelets. Katie Rose, what do you like in your omelet? Would you like some sausage?
Yeah.
Okay. Ham?
Sure.
What about bacon? That one?
Yes.
Okay. So what I got in here is I've got 3 eggs in here, and I'm going to zip the lock on it. Okay. Katie Rose, what you do is just mush that all together. with your hands. Use your hands and squeeze it. So what she's going to do is she's going to squeeze the bag. Now, Margaret, what would you like in your omelet?
Sausage.
Sausage? Okay.
Bacon.
Bacon? What about some cheese?
Lots of cheese.
Lots of cheese. Margaret's going to mash hers up. So once these are all mashed up, what we're going to do is drop the bags into boiling water for 12 minutes. It's a great thing to do for like camping or if you got a large group of people, and everybody writes their name on their bag, so everybody knows whose is whose. But it's a really simple thing to do. So those go in, and we got to wait about 12 minutes. So these are cooked for 12 minutes. What I'm going to do is use some tongs and take them out. Okay. We have Maggie's first. So what I'm going to do is cut this. And then it slides right out to a nice little omelet. Okay? Does that look good? Mark Bernich, Cisco Portland, with your cooking tip of the day.
Okay, so we're all ready to get these shrimp into the pan. So what's the next step, Sean?
So we're just going to put a touch of oil in the pan here. And we went ahead and butterflied these shrimp, which means we cut them down the middle because that's going to make them, but left the tail because that's going to make them kind of curl up and give a nice look to the salad. So we'll go ahead and put those guys. Look out. There you go.
What size shrimps are these?
These are a little bit bigger. These are a 13-15 headless shrimp. So we got almost enough because we're going to want to cook our sauce a little bit too. So that's the Frito that we made a little bit earlier. We're going to put a few tablespoons in there, probably about a little over a cup.
Okay.
Because this is going to be our salad dressing also.
Oh, nice.
Actually, it's probably about a cup and a half there. That should do it.
All right, that looks really great, and the
so we're
smell
pretty
is like
much there.
a total transformation. The smells of all those vegetables coming flying out, and your shrimp now nice and pink.
And that's all of our components. The salad, there's no other garnishes to cut up, the dressings in it and everything. So what we're going to do is just crank this off. We'll just kind of let it come down to about room temperature.
All right, so those shrimp are still cooking away, and they'll come down to room temperature, and at the end of the show, we'll actually plate it all together because we don't want to wilt the lettuce too early. And with Sean Smith from Portland Spirit, and he's provided to us by Cisco, we will have our second dish of 3 when Northwest Cooks returns.